He bid for us two VLCCs, which Mr. Kundu was there, at 65 million.
Yeah.
Today, for same VLCCs, we are paying them almost finalized 130 million, double. And they are behaving more, little nasty than what they behaved when we paid them 65 million, because it is a supply and demand, nothing else. And they
we
at
talk
that
about
time,
productivity. What I was saying is that productivity depends on if I was building 10 ships at the same time.
That's right.
I would have
What
a totally different
Kumar
level
is
of
saying,
productivity.
it is
If I'm
100%
building
right.
5 different types of ships and continuously changing it every year to year, then it would be again a different
No,
level. of
I would
Mr. Kumar,
slightly
the main
differ
thing
here.
is, if their design department is very quickly to adopt your requirement, very quickly to develop the drawing and give to planning. Planning is the most, and their design department quickly doing modification as per the individual
Sir,
requirement.
but the basic
It's
is
not
same.
100%.
Basic is same. It is a series. You are just changing few things. Okay, number of people, number of stay accommodation, this, that, etc. If I am thinking
Machinery, propulsion machinery, system conversion.
I am not,
I
they
always
always like I'll
Our
tell you,
requirement every time you
Yeah.
go, we
Generation
ask
power
15,
will
we ask 15 knots, somebody asking 16 knots.
Mr.
It's
Advani,
not same.
I would like to say something. Just because you're small now, you're doing different things. But let me tell you, if you grow big, when your economies of scale demand standardization. So everybody who's grown big is doing a standard ship. So you don't compare your situation, present situation with when you grow big. The moment you grow big, you will standardize automatically, or else you will not survive. That is one thing. Secondly, as for productivity, I have made some points. First of all, you have to have a vision that is very specific, and it should be what we call is a smart vision. Now I'm picking up few things from methodology known as Six Sigma, because I am doing a Six Sigma business process improvement study. So this, according to this, you have to have a specific vision, not in terms of turnover. Productivity means productivity, it should be related to production. If you make a target like I will build 6 Panamax vessels a year, that's a very specific target. And if you are building Panamax, I tell you it will be standardized. Your one Panamax from SCI will not be much different from Panamax for
XYZ.
Great Eastern. So if you have a target like this, very specific target, 2 VLCs a year, or 6 Panamax, or 8 Handymax, something like that vision is required. Production related. Once you have this kind of a vision, you know what is the infrastructure. Okay, you have the infrastructure in place. Then you come down to doing that, achieving the target. And this is where the business process comes into play. And according to me, this business process right now, what we have in India, needs improvement. I will not say everything should be thrown out, because then it becomes a business process re-engineering, which does not, has not been very effective everywhere. So if you just do a business process improvement and look into each and every process of yours, see, how do you think Japanese shipyards improved? They had no benchmark. They could not follow Korea, China, or anybody. They set a target for themselves. You see, when you have nobody to follow, you do it for yourself, right? Now, I worked for a Japanese shipyard, which used to take 3 months from keel laying to launching. That is the first block coming on the building berth, and the vessel is launched. They used to take 3 months. It's a Handymax vessel, let's say 50,000 or 55,000 ton deadweight vessel. Now their target, their target was to bring it down, and they have brought it down to 30 days. 1 month, the first block goes into the berth, and from the time launching of a vessel, exactly 1 month. So one building berth is producing 12 ships a year, for sure. That is for sure. If the demand is less, it may come down. So they are geared up for 12 ships a year, but they can always adjust themselves to a lower output of 8 ships if the demand is less. So, okay, as per Mr. Kumar, there has to be certain amount of demand. Japan has a very good system of, they have the ship owner, charterer, shipbuilder, ancillary, they are all very nicely, it's called a supportive, and fellow who's making, say, engines and all, he knows for sure his items are going there on the ship. The shipbuilder also knows he's going to get domestic orders, and charterers and all, everybody knows that all the cargo which is to and from Japan has to be a Japanese ship. Only when all the Japanese ships are full, not available, they go to outside people to look for outside people. Otherwise, they have a very good partnership, we can call, between charterers and ship owners and shipbuilding companies and the ancillary. How do you think the ancillaries have grown big? It's because they have got a very good support from shipyards. Here, I tell you, I was once upon a time on the one side of the table, and I found that ancillaries here cannot grow because of various factors. Because shipyard has to grow first, then the ancillary will. Shipyard will grow first only when the ship owners trust them and give them orders. So it's a chain reaction which is taking place. If you want to break free from this, I'm not looking at the past.
Yeah, how do you?
I'm not looking at the past. My theory is look where you are and set a target where you want to be. This is where I am, this is where I want to be. In terms of production, forget about money. Today 10 ships can get you 100 million, tomorrow it might give you only 50 million. So I'm not setting in terms of turnover part. If your production level, you set it, I want to build 10 ships a year. This should be, and see, capacity is one thing and the infrastructure is another. If you have an infrastructure, okay, you have a dock. You may build 1 ship a year, you may build 2 ships, you may build 10 ships. So 1 dock is good for anything. But this depends on process. How good is your process? So finally, if you whatever you see, it boils down to the process that you have. This business process, each one, procurement process, design process, fabrication process, all these things you have to look into it. Now, as per my figure, what we had was Japan takes about 12 to 15 hours per ton for steel fabrication, hull construction, fabrication, erection, all put together. Is 12 to 15 hours per ton. China is about 60 to 70. India is 300 plus.
So how much is Europe?
Europe, I don't have record. I'll have to.
But 300 not for. I've studied Cochin. It is about 180, 160.
I know. I look at it. I have not studied Cochin because this is a very old thumb rule, which is one ton per man month.
I think in India it is 1 man month.
Yeah, 1 ton per man month. That works out to 300 days.
Yeah, one of the issues is that we don't even use CGTX exclusively.
Regarding this productivity part,
Yeah.
I will just give you.
Now,
one or two
the
issues,
question
See,
is,
what I would say,
Yeah.
I was started my career from Ashavan Docks, then I went to Western India Shipyard, then I went to Dempo Shipyard, then I went to again come back to government sector after cut down. Now I am with one of the very good private sector company. Now we are 5th biggest engineering company in the world. And we do things, many of the things I cannot tell, there are high tech and confidential, etc. etc. Now, the work culture in L&T, especially the heavy engineering division, we have the infrastructure, we have the equipments, we have the process, everything is there, and we hire people. Our people also are, the attrition is there, new people come, but there is a system. Whoever is coming, even if I am saying, if you want a 5G welder, you come and put him. Once he is qualified as a 5G, he will do the welding as L&D wants. There is no two ways about it. He cannot do anything other than that. So, as a yard, we should have a system or what I would say is a set of procedures, policies, controls, so that whoever works for the common policy or common objective of the shipyard. So the manpower is immaterial, equipment is immaterial.
But in L&T, as you are getting into shipbuilding, what do you think is the level of productivity you would be able to have? Do you think you will go by 1 man month?
No.
Steel?
No.
See,
See,
sort of
I
targets
have
you-
given you an indication initially itself that when you want to set up a shipyard like that, the kind of investment. We are starting a shipyard which is world class.
Okay.
We'll be starting at, we don't believe in inventing gravity again. We start at the top level.
Okay, but do you think you will be able to get, if not 15, let's say, let's say 2 man days per ton of steel, 3 man days, will those kind of levels
we
you
are
will be able to
targeting 20 man hours.
20 man hours
20 man hours
per ton
a
of
ton, yes.
steel
Yes.
with all the high tech
That's
and
right, that's right,
everything.
yeah.
Okay,
We are
based
looking
on your
at-
experience
we are-
of engineering
yes.
in other areas.
But I'll interrupt here, Mr. Ghosh. This 300 vis-a-vis you mentioned 15. You should also talk about the gauge of the plate, thickness of the plate.
No, that's-
What Indian shipbuilding is doing is small
no,
ships.
I will tell you again. When you're doing a process improvement and you're investigating a process,
Yeah.
a lot of things have to be related. You see, like say you said you initially talked about layout. Layout is important because movement of an object is considered as a non-value added job. So this thickness, you may say, but I will